Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I wanted to cover this really crazy strategy that is Leshrac support. I was looking at 9class's page, and I noticed that he had an 82% win rate over a very significant 17 matches on support Leshrac. Every single game is support Leshrac, and every single game is with the facet Misanthropy. If you don't know what Misanthropy is, basically it lowers the duration of Diabolic Edict from 10 seconds to 6 seconds, and it can't do damage to towers. Now you might be like, okay, that doesn't sound that good. You can't kill towers with Leshrac. That's like a big point of Leshrac support. However, what you need to know is that now you blow people up. Edict goes off so fast that if you catch someone out of position, you will basically kill them every single time. And so this hero is the biggest assassin in Dota right now, and I'm not kidding. So we're going to be watching 9class play support Leshrac in this match. We're going to be covering it live, and let's see everything that he does. On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. What's really funny about this guy is that he is very unique in his item builds. He really has no problem just buying what he thinks he needs. Like a lot of players, they're not going to do a build like this. They're going to be way too afraid of being flamed for not buying tangos by Speed Dota. They're going to be way too afraid of not buying branches and circlet and trading right clicks. And generally on most heroes, it's a pretty bad idea to go boots and blood grenade. But on Leshrac, this facet makes it worth it. So yeah, every single game he likes smoking out and making this play. He's going to ask his team to do it for him. It's just so effective because when you're playing Lesh Sup, you want to kill pre-rune. So either buy the smoke yourself and don't buy a sentry, or ask your position 5 to buy a smoke and smoke you. Either is fine, but you want to go and get a deep ward as fast as you can. Tell your team, come to me, guys. You can solo kill a lot of supports, but you don't want to take that risk most of the time. I mean, you can, but you don't want to have to. And so he immediately gets down this really deep ward. They're going to smoke deep into the jungle. And notice his item, boots, blood grenade, sentry. As I said, this sentry can be a smoke, but you really do need a sentry to block the small camp. We'll cover that in a bit. And look at this play. Like, this upcoming play here just goes to show why this item build is so important. Lesh with boots during the daytime is 370 movement speed, and so a slow hero like Tiny, obviously affected by some slows and a blood grenade, actually just gets walked down. And look at the edict damage. I mean, this thing literally does more than half of the majority of heroes' health, and that is Tiny. This hero has a very high base HP pool, so you just walk people down. From there, I've watched a few of his games. He will frequently lead tri-lane. He will often, in many games, lead tri-lane. And that's what he's doing here. Wraps on the Enigma. Edict comes back up. He actually gets a few of the Eidolons, which is kind of nice. And they get the kill on the Enigma, as well as doing a ton of damage to Tiny. And so yes, obviously this play sacrifices your offlaner a lot. And so it's not something I would highly recommend unless your safe lane is a lane with 2 disables. In this lane, it's Sven and Winranger. They have 2 disables. It's a high likelihood they'll be able to connect with the Edict and get a kill. And funny enough, he doesn't leave, which is... like, I don't know, but it's good. And the reason why it's good, okay, hear me out. The reason why it's good is, number one, the Pudge, he'll do all right. He'll hook some creeps. He's hooking some range creeps. He'll do all right. But the big thing is that now if they kill Enigma again, the game is over for Enigma. He's going to have no TP, and he's going to be way too behind on levels. On top of that, he actually uses the sentry to unblock the small camp before leaving, which is pretty based, like having that awareness to do that. So unfortunately, his Pudge ends up dying. He queues up a blood grenade, sentry, smoke, and tangos. I love how efficient he is with these small items. A lot of players, they just don't value the small items enough. They don't queue them up fast enough. They don't buy them fast enough. It's actually very problematic. Next in this lane, he ends up getting a nice little kill on Alk in a moment. Basically, the Pudge hooks the Alk. And then I don't know what this Alk is thinking. I think people just genuinely don't understand how this Leshrac works. And frankly, that's a big advantage. When people don't know what you do, you get a lot of mileage out of your hero because this guy, I mean, he's just no respect. Like, you can't walk up a hill into Lesh. You can't walk up a hill. Zoned out, back to base, and that's just how it goes. Any hero in the 1v1 gets destroyed. Upcoming here is a pretty base play, so something that 9class is doing here is he's warding this hill. And I like this play because if the support tries to deward it, you kill them, right? And if they don't, well, whatever, you're going to control the small camp, you're going to be able to see when they're making a play, whatever it is. As he denies his own obs, and then the Alk charges a stun to try to defend himself. He jukes the stun, which is so based, and then kills him off. And this Edict almost doubles in damage. At level 1, you can almost solo kill a support. At level 2, it almost doubles. And so you just evaporate heroes. As the Alk just instantly dies. Which is, I don't know, it's just like crazy. He walks mid here. Love this rotation, hits the stun. Unfortunately, he's in the wave here, so his damage is very lacking. Actually does full commit with the Monkey King, and they do find the kill, which is honestly good for his game, only because he gets to go back to base. And now he's full resources. In terms of items, he's got Tangos, buys another Blood Grenade. This guy is a Blood Grenade fiend, like constantly buys Blood Grenade, like all the time. And frankly, I agree. I think it's 115 damage is just insane. Like this item, it just does way too much damage for how much gold it costs. And it gives you health if you don't use it, which is fine. You know, it's just as good. Also keep in mind for his items, the first thing he did buy was Mana Boots. And it really pays off because like this hero has severe mana problems. Also, I think a lot of people would be tempted to actually not skill stun and just take 2 points in Lightning Storm at level 4. But I think the stun is actually worth it. It really helps you just keep people in this edict and stop people from TPing away from you, which many heroes have to try to do if they want to get away. So yeah, it's kind of a nice response. And look at this. You can move command portal to actually hit it faster. It's really weird. You have to use move command and you can actually hit the gate from the outside of the gate, and it lets you move faster. It's really, really cool. And he actually ends up bumping into Enigma. The Eidolons are actually very problematic for a hero like Leshrac, so this looks not... Oh my god, they actually killed them all. That's crazy. So from there, he kind of walks through mid. He's just always looking for a kill, right? Just always looking for that next opportunity, that next move. Sees the Enigma bottom, Monkey King committing. He bumps into this Alk, and immediately you have to assume he's just going to go on the Alk. And this is level 3 Edict. Like, look at this damage. The Alk commits on him. He actually doesn't die there. Like, what in the world? And look at the item he's queued up. First of all, he bought a salve. And what's cool about buying Bracer is that it actually makes salves hyper abusable in this patch. I actually would have loved to see him backpack the Bracer again during the salve duration, because Bracer gives you 100 HP, right? So when you pop salve, it's very efficient to like get rid of the HP and bring it back by backpacking your Bracer. So would have loved to see that. He didn't do that. It's fine. It's fine. As he moves mid, it's very good to connect the stuns on this hero. As he leads in with the stun, generally you're going to use your E slow into your Q. So when you're trying to kill people, if you catch them off guard completely, you lead with your W. If you aren't catching them off guard and they kind of see you coming, you have to Lightning Storm into stun into W, right? So just remember that. Best case scenario, you're clicking W. Like, let's say they're walking up a hill or they're walking into one of your wards. That's what you want to have happen. Wow, 9-minute wisdom room. Damn, no one checked. It's kind of crazy. At level 6, he does skill his ulti, so you can kind of see his mentality. It's the full solo kill build. Usually the problem with doing something like this is you have heavy mana problems, like you can sustain it. But that's partially why he rushes Mana Boots, and he will have a neutral item coming soon. As he's sitting bottom, I think he's waiting for this Viper. Leshrac is actually very good at killing Viper at this point in the game because this Edict is pure. So the resistances from Corrosive Skin do not apply to the Leshrac W, right? It's completely unresistible, just like me, to women. Okay, so he ends up roaming mid here, and this is why you have to rush Blink. The biggest flaw of Leshrac is, against good players, it's super hard to find angles. I'm not gonna lie, guys, the lower MMR you go, the more you should just place a ward on a hill and sit on that hill. There's a very high likelihood someone will just walk up. They'll completely forget that you exist, they have no clue that you can actually kill them, and you will kill them. Like, this hill is really good, this hill is really good, like, this ward is good, this ward, if they're just walking, like, some supports will just walk into this area for no reason, and you can just kill them. And so usually sitting on hills is the name of the game for this hero. It's as I said, it's a little harder for Leshrac. We saw it in the early game. He killed the Alk that way, actually almost twice that way. As wow, actually taking their stacks. That's pretty funny. Is he dead for this? Oh, that was close. Windlace movement speed goated. Okay, now that he has Blink, it's time to play the game. And I really mean that. When you have Blink, the hero completely changes. Because you go from a hero that kind of can't really make plays conveniently to a hero that can sort of just kill anyone. Like right here, I mean, it's go time. As the Monkey King ulties, Blink Dagger up. He actually blinks in before clicking W. So quick thing, usually if you're catching someone off guard with Blink, you want to click W first. It has a cast time. And so you will not be able to chase people down sometimes if you click Blink and then W. So kind of weird execution. I don't know exactly why he does it this way. It actually seems like a mistake. As he's going to walk down the Razor, easy kill. Super, super straightforward. Completely out of mana now. As he queues up the Kaya. And this will 100% of the time be the problem with support Lesh. You should try to take a mana neutral item if you can get it. Because then you can, like, let's say you get Jelly or Arcane Ring. You can place it on the ground and click your Mana Boots and get a lot of mana back. And so that's the best way, plus clarities, to sustain this hero's mana pool. So he has safety bubble, makes sense. This hero has HP problems. You're literally jumping into people to try to kill them with only 1k HP and 6 armor. As goes on the Enigma here. Once again, unit heroes are definitely your counter. But look at this Edict damage. He's just fine. So sick. And that's the timing. You just blow up cores. Like, you solo kill the majority of cores in the game. So from there, he actually does TV bottom. He sees Alk on the ward. Oh, was he not paying attention? I really thought he was going to go to try. Oh, he should have tried. Oh, is this a bug? No, he sees the Alk. I'm really surprised he didn't try to kill this guy, honestly. Maybe he was tabbed out, changing his Spotify playlist. I have no idea. Okay, pushes in the bot wave, picks up the Lotus. And at this point, I mean, this is kind of awkward. He doesn't see anything. So going on a hero like Alk when you have actually no vision, like jumping him earlier on that ward made more sense because you see that he's alone. But now, I mean, you can't really have confidence to go on him as he blinks at him. I wonder if that was to try to bait him. I mean, you're not going to turn on him here because once again, no one's top, no one's mid. I mean, there's almost certainly someone close to him. Yeah, the Razor is sort of close. And he doesn't know, so... Uh-oh, his team kind of overcommits here. And see, his team is playing kind of bad here. And the reason why I say that, the mistake they're making, is the enemy team is literally showing nowhere. You should assume they're together until you see otherwise, right? It's very important to have that instinct in Dota. And he has that instinct. You can tell. This is not reckless gameplay. He is rank 82 in Europe. This is like 13k, higher than 13k. It's not reckless at all. It's very calculated as, oh, he gets caught here. It's funny, I say that. Insta jinx, that's the caster's curse. Oh, this guy's Blade Mail and Razor. To be fair, that is the counter to this Lesh strategy. Blade Mail really is problematic for Leshrac. It is very, very problematic. Okay, respawning here. So the angles, I mean, maybe he doesn't really want to go on this Razor because of the Blade Mail. So he's going to look for this Viper, but the Monkey King solo kills him, so he takes the wave. You can always farm on this hero. It's definitely an option. I actually queued up the Yules. Whoa, blind blink into no vision. Okay. Dude, I literally I'm like, this guy is so calculated. He's like playing wards and like not jumping into blind areas. And then he just does this. His Windranger's bottom Pudge is dead and he just blinks into an area with no vision. What the heck, dude? What the? Gameplay was like so clean until this last like minute. What can you do? All right, so he ends up buying Yules here, and you can Yule set up. So if you guys aren't Leshrac players, basically what some people will do is they'll blink on someone, they'll Yules them, they'll click their W, which you got to be careful about because when people used to Yules combo in Lesh, the W was such a long duration that you were never hitting anyone 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100 with all 10 seconds of Edict. But you will hit someone with all 6 seconds, and so you don't really want to click Edict that early when trying to kill someone. Like, you have to be careful about that. It's very short duration and it's your most important spell because it's as fast as he sees the Alk pushing up. Definitely seems like a good target. We see on the ward that he is isolated. Oh, it's a Blade Mail Alk too. Wow, they are really trying to just counter it. Don't worry, that people will not buy Blade Mail in response to Leshrac support. I'm not exactly sure it's even that good, you know, like I get this Alk's line, he has Blade Mail and 3 bracers. It's kind of cute actually. I think it's like semi-decent, no joke. But yeah, immediately connecting, right? Finds a kill top. Starts moving mid. Has to be a little careful about being in the triangle here, right? Once again, they don't really have vision. And this hero is... The biggest issue about picking this hero in average pubs is that in average pubs, people push towers way too much. Like, they'll have a slight lead, and they're just going to go push a tier 2. And Leshrac is not very good at fighting in these scenarios because he just sort of dies. Like, obviously, this is a monster game, so he has Yules, so he's a lot more sustainable or survivable in team fights. As actually showing up late to this fight. Let's see if he goes in. Pudge getting kind of low, Tiny commits. I mean, this seems okay. Blinks in, lands stun onto the Alk. Oh, he didn't finish a Tiny. Ugh. Yeah, and that's what I said. In team fights, you kind of explode. And so what I recommend to do in team fights, I mean, there's no good angle here. Like, if there's some hero like here that's following behind, that's who you want to go on. You can kind of suicide bomb. Like, for instance, here, he could have killed the Tiny and then clicked Yules. He sort of messed up. Okay, he didn't Yules at all. I don't know why. Yeah, I guess he's messing up a little bit. I mean, it's fine. But yeah, usually in team fights, you need to find an isolated target. You should not blink into the entirety of the enemy team. It's not going to go well. Unless you have Yules, then it's like decent to bait out spells. Like, it can be okay. And so yeah, he does farm a little bit. Like, when the game slows down and you have this much farm, you can farm. Like, you can farm more, is I guess what I'm trying to say. As he pushes in the wave, kills off these camps, kills off the wave, kills off the next wave. And he's actually, I mean, his team is making plays without him, which can be a little risky. As this Elk is being annoying, he's going to use the Blade Mail, which is correct. Trying to kite it out. Gets comboed by Tiny. Yeah. This is the issue with the hero. You're squishy. You're a little squishy. At minute 25, you have this nice option, and I do recommend it. At minute 25, what you should consider is these Blood Grenades should be a Bracer, and this can turn into Kaya-Sange, and then you have a very substantial HP pool. When this happens, then you can actually like really get in there, because you'll have like 2.5k, 2.6k HP. Fight breaks out, looking to finish off the Leshrac. One thing about 9 class that I've really noticed is this guy just has no problem dying. And this goes across like all heroes that he plays. He has no problem just getting in there and using his body as bait. As long as he's getting a decent trade for it, right? As long as he's like putting out massive damage beforehand. Right? He has no problem with just going in and dying in teamfight settings. And on Leshrac, you kind of have to, as okay, he picks up Kaya-Sange, queuing up the Bloodstone next, so completely trying to transition. And this is what's nice about heroes like Lesh in pubs. If the game goes late game, you can scale. You have the option to kind of move, like scale into the game, which is really, really useful in pubs. Oh, look at this. This is what I mean by like this Chad blink. I wonder if this was a response to the Razor showing bottom, right? Because he kills off the cart. This Monkey King is getting gone on. Razor shows bottom. Maybe to him, that's a signal to just get in there. I mean, this Viper's also really low. He does a good chunk of damage. He has the Yule, so he knows if they commit on him, he's going to be fine. Nice hook. Blinking 2. Catch Yalk. And that was smart. If this is a response to him seeing the Razor bottom, that's so high skill. And that's a big reason how these players get to this high MMR. They're so good at seeing openings. Like, if this was... I wonder if he would have blinked in even if Razor was here. Because his Pudge isn't here. It would be a 5-on-5. Razor's, he's strong. Even though they're 15k behind. But just completely chads up. Really good damage. Good control. And yeah, that's about the end of the game. Bloodstone would be his next item. Some people like the Shard. I personally think the Shard is extremely overrated on this hero. The only situation in which I would recommend buying Leshrac Shard is if I'm defending high ground or if I'm sieging high ground. Then it's like, okay. Also, in terms of skill build, I didn't really cover it. Just want to go back quickly. He maxes out the E. He takes 4 armor. Interestingly enough, he does not take the mana regen. He takes the armor. And yeah, you do have armor problems. In a game like this, you're really going to have armor problems. You're against potentially Viper Shard at some point, Alk, Q, and Razor ultis. Definitely a nice game for him to pick up the armor. If you're not threatened by physical damage for whatever reason, you can obviously take the mana regen. For his other talents, it's almost always the Pulse Nova talents, but we'll see. Maybe he's unique. There you go, he's unique. He takes Lightning Storm damage. So really valuing the ability to just blow people up. And at level 20, I don't think he gets there this game. Oh no, he probably does. He does. He takes the Pulse Nova damage, so wow. Really going just the Chad damage build. Because a lot of people will take MS and then damage reduction. And then at level 25, I have to imagine you're taking Edict Explosions. Pulse Nova triggers Lightning Storm, especially with the 15 talent, is really good. But I have to imagine you're taking Edict Explosions. However, it's only 50% of the explosions. Pulse Nova triggers Lightning Storm might be better late game, especially when you have Bloodstone. So actually, guys, I'm going to recommend a level 25 going the right talent. I think it's almost certainly better, but okay. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this kind of more so live analysis, a little different from what I do most of the time, which is like watching the replay, kind of going back through it and covering the highlights. This was a bit more live, a bit more consistent. And if you enjoyed this format, let me know in the comment section down below. I hope to do more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!